Hello, listeners, and welcome. This is the Boogeyman Report, your official site for news from the left-wing liberal radical Democrats, where each episode we're going to talk about truth, justice, and the American way. Let's get started, shall we? The truth. The truth is that Donald Trump is taking America down the path to his own private dictatorship and intends to attempt to stay in power in 2028. In direct violation of the constitutional amendments prohibiting it. In a phenomenon known as democratic backsliding, Trump has ascended to power through rigged elections and then embarked on a systematic dismantling of the democratic institutions that enabled his rise. The Republican sycophants who intend to follow him down the road of his dictatorship have enabled and support the Putin puppet in his attempt to dismantle our American checks and balances. They have given into greed and power, and damned be the people that they were elected to represent, you and I. Once in office, this man who would be king picked up his copy of the 2025 playbook and the Adolf Hitler playbook and embarked on a road to erode democratic norms by weakening opposing political parties, undermining the courts, attacking and attempting to imprison his detractors, and suppressing civil rights. Using censorship and propaganda, Trump is attempting to suppress basic liberties and use state-controlled media to spread propaganda and maintain popular support, along with the use of social media and internet censorship, all led and paid for and supported by Elon Musk, to shape public opinion into his vision of the evil empire he desires. That's right, folks. The truth is that Trump is using the Hitler playbook, verse by verse, to destroy democracy and to hand America over to him and his family as the despot rulers of our once free and great nation. It's time Americans woke up to this and understand the enemy is within our very own government. And unless Americans take hard stands against this fascist despot, as the Condon loves to say, you won't have a country anymore. And we know all along it is his intention to take our country for his very own pleasure and dictatorial playground. Listeners, as we sit here today, the fool in the White House is now tearing down the very building we the people support and create a gold-filled, gilded palace for he and his cronies in an audacious and vile display of stupidity. The truth is that Donald Trump is attempting to build a dictatorship in his own image. He swoons at the palaces of Vlad Putin and Xi. He craves to be seen as wealthy and important, while all the while the people of America suffer. The truth is, America, it's not too late to stop this dictator from imposing his will on the American people. We must fight in the streets, fight him in the cities, fight him in the press, fight him in the polling booth, and fight him and his oligarch buddies to our last breath, or we really won't have a country anymore. And instead, a repressive, fascist dictator who would see you in prison or a gulag instead of having you be free. You gotta vote, people. And that's the truth. Justice. The Boogeyman's Justice Award recognizes its newest recipients, every sitting Democrat in the House and the Senate, for their refusal to aid the Republicans and the man who would be dictator in destroying and denying health care and paychecks to Americans. The Democrats have pushed Republicans to extend Obamacare subsidies that will expire to the end of the year. Failing to do so would lead to increased health care costs for millions of Americans. Republicans say Democrats must first reopen the government, but so far, the Democrats have stood their ground. The Democrat Party's hardened resolve in the shutdown battle seems to have the left Republican majority without answers. And as Marjorie Taylor Greene has put it, the Republicans have no plan for America or health care. And she's a radical Maga. Meanwhile, the government remains shut down as the Republicans have no answer for the American people on multiple issues. And the support for the continued shutdown is only growing as pressure is put on the dictator and his pals to do what's right for Americans and knock it off. But instead, let's look at where Republican priorities are spending hundreds of millions of dollars. First, the destruction of the White House to create a gilded palace for their failing despot. hundreds of millions on private jets for Kristi Noem because she's too good to fly with us common folk, and continuing their own free health care for themselves, and they seem to be collecting their paychecks while allowing everyday Americans to suffer. Thanks, Republicans. Good job. But the Democrats in Congress are standing firm and just saying no to the policies of a dictator, his cronies, and his oligarchs by saying, hell no, we won't go until the right thing is done for all Americans. Do you think Trump and his cronies like Musk care that you don't eat, can't pay your rent, can't buy gas to get to work, can't afford school supplies for your kids? They could care less that you suffer as their gilded palaces are built and they feast on gourmet meals from golden plates. They could care less about America, i.e., let them eat cakes. So the Democrats continue to stand firm against this pariah and his idiots in Congress, and will win this fight against a dictator and his cronies, for we, the people. Now that's justice. Good job, Democrats in Congress. The American way. The American way is under attack, folks, from the radical right-wing conservative Republicans who want to see an end to our democracy with their anointed man who would be king. America is under attack from Russia, China, Iran, North Korea, and others, with constant disinformation, anti-democracy ads, conspiracy theories, and more. All the while, the frail, mentally failing, and incompetent Donald Trump stands by and cajoles these dictators because he wants what they want. Power. Absolute power. And gold palaces and statues and buildings, all in his honor. Instead of helping end the government shutdown, he plays golf, redecorates his new palaces, and destroys we the people's property so he can host lavish caviar parties for his wealthy, soon-to-be American oligarchs. None of this is the American way. It is the antithesis of decency, truth, and honor. And should this dictator succeed in his repression of the people and their subjugation, there will no longer be an American way. It will have gone into the abyss of the man who would be king's pocket. As I say goodbye, I want to thank you for taking the time to stop by and listen. It's important that we the people continue to drown out the political noise so full of hatred and false divisions and start listening to the people that mean the most of us, each other. It's time we push back together as America. And I want to help that happen with truth, justice, and the American way. And I promise you this, I will never stop trying to voice my concerns, my thoughts, and my fight for freedom and to fight against the evil now in our government, even if we don't agree. That is the American way. Until next time, peace out from just another left-wing liberal radical Democrat. And please don't forget to click subscribe and tell 2 friends so you never miss another episode of The Boogeyman Report.